Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Law with Darren podcast. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the relationship between workers' compensation and personal injury. They're connected, they're related, but there is a big difference. Oftentimes, workers' compensation involves a personal injury, but the injury itself occurs at work as opposed to regular personal injury, where the injury can occur basically anywhere in a car accident. So, a lot of people will ask me and say, "Hey, Darren, if I'm injured at work, does that mean that I can sue my employer for personal injury?" And the answer is no. The purpose of the workers' compensation statutes, primarily in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, makes it so that way, if you're injured on the job, you cannot sue your employer for their negligence. So if you work at McDonald's and you're in the back kitchen area and you slip and fall on grease that's coming out from one of the machines, you cannot sue McDonald's if you're a worker there for say, hey, you guys should have had better precautions in place and given us non-slip mats or something because I fell on grease and I'm injured. Now, in exchange for the inability to sue your employer for their negligence, they wrote the workers' compensation laws where you don't have to prove that your employer knew or should have known or could have done something differently that day to get on workers' compensation. You can right away, as long as you prove that you were injured in the scope of your employment, you can get compensated. And you can get compensated for your lost wages, and workers' comp will also pay all of your medical bills. They'll also pay scarring and they'll pay funeral costs and some other things. But I just want to talk about the personal injury. Now, compare that to someone who walks into McDonald's, a customer, and slips and falls on the exact same puddle, right? So let's change the facts a little bit. Let's say a customer walks in and slips and falls on a puddle while they're waiting to order their food. So right in the customer eating area, okay? Well, if both a customer and an employee both fall on the exact same puddle at the exact same time, guess what? The customer can sue McDonald's, the employee cannot. Now, there is a connection, as I said earlier, between workers' comp and personal injury. And oftentimes that connection is, as a personal injury lawyer, is to find out, is there another party that we can blame for what happened? So let's change the facts a little bit. Let's say someone works for UPS. What can Brown do for you? Or FedEx even. So they're for FedEx. And if you're a FedEx driver and you're at a stoplight and you get rear-ended, well, you certainly are within the scope of your employment. So workers' comp does apply. But there's also the case against the person who hit you, the other driver. So you can go after your FedEx workers' compensation carrier and immediately get on benefits and sue the person behind you that hit you for personal injuries. Now, when the case settles, the workers' compensation carrier, it's a little different between Mass versus Rhode Island, and I'm just talking about Mass and Rhode Island right now. But it's a little. What happens is when you settle the personal injury case, because workers' compensation paid your bills, you are able to still get compensated for those bills by the person that rear-ended you. But when you settle that case, you do need to contact and work things out with the workers' comp carrier because you are in fact getting reimbursed for medical bills that they paid. So hope this explains the difference between personal injury and workers' comp. But the question is, yes, if you are injured on the job, that does not mean that there isn't someone else that you can make pay. For instance, another example, if someone works at a movie theater and they climb a ladder to change a light bulb and the ladder breaks, you can sue the manufacturer of the ladder. So there's a lot of different scenarios that exist in this world. And as a good lawyer, our jobs, are to try to find what's known as the third party claim. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today, the episode. If you have any questions, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll try to answer anything possible. Until next time, guys, have a good day and take care.